Okay, number 1.1, Civic Center boiler update.
New information came in today, so the municipal superintendent and the controller are still reviewing it, so it's not gonna be updated today.
Is there problems?
Maybe.
What do you mean, like, it's just delaying the
Just,
project?
it's
or-
just the project, just to delay the project. There's just a few concerns with the quotes and stuff now. So they're just hashing it out and they'll bring it back as soon as they figure it all out.
Getting colder.
Yep.
Okay, more to come. 1.2, stop signs, lakefront lots.
It's come to our attention that now that there are more homes being constructed at lakefront lots, it was noted there was no stop signs out there. The drafting department has determined where these signs are required, therefore bylaw 2265, being the Town of the Paw traffic bylaw, needs to be amended to include these signs. Bylaw 4598 is the amending bylaw to do this, and we just need it to go for first reading. Public
Formality.
safety,
I
Yeah.
apologize, folks.
Okay.
so we just need a resolution for first reading.
Any questions, queries, concerns on that, folks?
No.
No, everybody's good, consensus is, move forward.
Yep.
Okay, 4.1, cost sharing of the town Christmas party.
Cost sharing the town Christmas party with QP on a 50-50 basis, and how much is council, if you want to do this, how much council is willing to cost share. We have not done this since 2014, usually a meal and then a dance. This was also when we did service awards. In 2014, the maximum amount was up to $2,500.
Discussion?
I think we should go forward with it. Yeah, I agree.
I feel like if we're going to do something like this, that we should not be waiting until the end of October to bring it onto the table, that we should have brought it forward when we were doing budget.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, good enough.
That's my take on it. I'm not saying that I would be totally opposed to it, but I just feel that you don't ask for things in October to happen in a month's time. You just need to plan ahead and budget.
Okay.
Do we have, would we have reserve money or some money to cover the
Yes,
cost
there
of
would
this?
be.
Yeah,
The controller can find it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason the town didn't cost share the Christmas party anymore was because staff weren't invited? Am I wrong?
No, there was no one in the union to do it.
Oh, that's what it was, the union, oh, okay, yeah, okay.
The union
We
was
no
to-
longer do service awards?
Yeah, we
Did
still
they-
do service awards.
Yeah,
But
I
you.
did them at the wellness center, or no, I did them here.
Yeah,
Did them here.
yeah, and I think it was, I can't remember when that was done. I think it was in the summer.
This summer, yeah.
Yeah,
So this would be a town and
town and
QP,
QP, yeah.
shared joint Christmas party. Okay.
So the staff appreciation that we did this summer, is that something that usually happens on a yearly basis as well, or was
No,
that?
that's not. No.
So we did a staff.
That was something this council wanted to do.
And then we did the 50th anniversary,
40.
40 year
For Peter.
for Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
50?
50?
yeah.
50.
I thought it was 50.
And
I
it's
Yeah.
50.
thought it was 50.
I can't remember.
69, yeah, they were playing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, summer of 69, yeah, there you go.
Okay, so for the proposal for the 2,500 for the town Christmas party, are we in agreement we're gonna do it, or?
I'm okay with it.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, Bill, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Everybody consensus is, yeah? Okay,
I'm not opposed to it, I would just choose that next year, if it's something that we want to continue to do, that we
Put
budget
it in the
for.
budget.
Yeah, bring it
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
Good point. Makes it tough to say no to when we were nickel and dime and other organizations.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we just say yes. Doesn't look good.
okay. Yeah, resolution to come forward. Meeting with Manitoba Housing.
At a previous meeting, council asked that a meeting with Manitoba Housing be arranged. I've tried to arrange one. They are asking if it can be done in the or I tried to arrange an evening meeting so we could do it during council or committee of the whole. Evening meetings does not work for them. They're asking if this can be a noon lunch hour meeting.
I can make most noons. You've got my schedule. I'm kind of busy in November, but,
Yeah.
you know, I'll do what I can.
I'm good at lunch as long as somebody gives me more than a day's notice, kind of, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
you're open to lunch hour meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, I will reach out to them.
Okay. Road salt.
An invitation to tender was sent to suppliers and an advertisement was placed on the town webpage, Merck's and in the Opasco Times for the supply and delivery of 90 metric tons of road salt as per specifications. 2 bids were received. The purchasing agent's recommendation is to accept the tender for Edmund Trucking in the lump sum amount of $14,364,000, including taxes.
Did we have this in the budget?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how did we fare based on budget and quote?
I'm unsure, I'd have to ask.
I don't remember the exact amount. I do have a question though, who does our measuring when it's dropped off? Like the salt as well as the gravel?
I'd have to find
Like
out.
when we had the gravel tender, do we actually measure it or is it?
I think they just do it by truckload, the amount of truckloads they get.
How do we know?
Well, it's scaled, right? If it's weight, it'd be by scale, so we must scale it in and out somewhere. It says 90 metric tons, so do they scale out wherever they take it from or get a bill? I would think so if you're
You would,
measuring
Yeah,
it.
I would think so.
I can find
They're
out.
selling
Can you
it, right?
find out?
I can find out.
And could you just check to see where we are in relation to the budget?
Okay.
So if the tender comes back within budget and we answer the scaling question, resolution to go forward next meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't we not have a choice anyway? And need salt?
Yeah, and they would like to know if we
Well,
can
we-
move
we
ahead
take less,
before
I
the
guess, eh?
resolution as we're
Yeah.
running out.
Yeah, 'tis the season.
It is. And they
So
just
the-
want to get moving on this sooner than later.
Okay, so resolution to come forward. Okey dokey, 4.4, tendering of fencing.
Would there still been a conflict to this if you're tendering a fence, like
I don't think so.
No.
If you can show me where your personal gain is in this.
in this fence? I'll tell you all about that. Okay.
So an invitation to tender was sent to suppliers and advertisement was placed on the town's webpage, Merck's and in Opasco Times for the supply and delivery of the fence for the walking paths. 1 bid was received, which was over budget by $17,600, and this was only for the supply, not the installation, which would be an additional cost.
Discussion.
The company that we first got the quote from never even bid, did they?
So in our, and I don't know our, like, through the back of my hand, our current tendering policies, but if you put it out, no one's really bid on it, like for what we wanted. Do we have the ability just to go around to contractors and ask them for, hey, are you interested in?
Well, like if this guy, you mean this guy here that did bid? Like
No,
the 17
anybody.
No, like the company who give us the quote first, can we go back to them? Because it was less than,
They weren't interested.
they were,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, I guess not.
Like, I don't know, like maybe it
But
was
there is a
too,
bid, so
but maybe it was too big for a local guy, but we said, hey, how about if one local guy does one, the other local guy does the other, as long as they're the same materials? Do we have the ability to do that? Or are we restricted by our,
would probably be restricted by your policy, your tendering policy. You'd have to re-tender because you're asking for something different now, to just do one path.
No, you're
It was a
asking for the
lump
supply
sum.
of it, not the supply and installation, right?
but could we not, I'm just trying to find solutions. Every time
Yeah.
we try and think of something, we're just like, well, so then what if we offered it to one guy and say, subcontract it out to the other 2 guys? And so it gets done. Like, I don't know, like trying to think in order to get it done. I don't know, like if Bill did fences, no, it's too much. I'll build one, he'll build one, we'll get the materials, or is that not? Because just this whole process, and I get you have to do the process, so put it out now, and then it's gonna take somebody a week or two to figure out how to compile it up, and then we might get another one person bid on one hat, like, you know what I mean?
I would like to see, I don't disagree with you, right? I'd like to see it get done. I'm not sure we're within our legal ability to do it that way. It makes too much sense. Right? So, again, I'm not an expert on the tendering policy or the legal side of that. I don't know how we can get a quick answer on that. Because the tender that we received was over what the budget was,
Yeah.
right? So what is our options now?
You could probably re-tender it and re-tender it for supply and install, but if we specified what we wanted supplied, that could be, if we figured out exactly what type of fencing we wanted, and then we put that within the scope or within the specs, and sent it out to supply and install, you might get a bite on it that way, I don't know. Doesn't matter, it's too late anyway.
I guess like with Trevor, I think if I'm understanding Trevor correctly, we've gone through the process twice of asking for tenders. And both times they didn't come back appropriate or successful. So since we've gone that route now, are we free to do it a different way? Or do we have to stay on the path?
Well, we got it bid though.
Yeah, well, it's over,
It's
but
over.
we can refuse
It's
it,
not within our
right?
parameters.
Yeah, we don't have to accept it.
So what does the tender policy say if it comes in over budget, or we just don't do it, right?
We just don't do it.
And then there's
Unless
You
nothing,
have to
there's,
re-tender.
there's not another step after, just to re-tender.
That's correct.
Could we break it down into small enough bites to come in underneath the tendering limits? Because what's the price tag for tendering? 7,500?
Why do you think though that it's gonna be any cheaper though?
Well,
Because the supply of the fence is the supply of the fence.
I think what we're getting at is maybe if we can go out there and start searching at our own, as opposed to just waiting for somebody to tender, is what I think Trevor's getting at.
Exactly.
Well, and like, I just don't know how effective our tendering process is, like, I don't know if any local contractors were, contacted, I don't know. I just don't know how you do this.
But that's what I'm getting at, so we're gonna go and say, wow, well, now if we break it up this way, we'll get all these people, we're not. So that's what I'm saying, can we go out and say, hey, listen, are you interested in, we put it out there, I think we did our due diligence, we put it out there, no one bid, we put it twice, so at what point do you decide that, hey, maybe the fence is important, or maybe this is important? How do you, at what point can you say, look, I'm just gonna go get John to go do it, we're gonna go ask him? Can you go do that, or are you in trouble because we didn't put it out in the paper again for
Given-
this?
So what is the price that
I
has
feel
to
like
be
that's
tendered?
it.
41,000,
No,
Both
but
that.
like
you
say,
have to
when we go to
buy.
tender, it's anything over what amount?
7,500.
7,500.
I think we
But I
have
thought
to
you
be
can direct
compliant
buy
with
something.
tenders.
Then I read something in there that you can, the CAO or somebody has authority to do something.
The
Like a
CO
single
has the
source.
authority to approve up to $25,000, but it still has to be tendered. The CAO can approve a tender up to $25,000, but under 7,500 and under, then you can get 3 quotes.
So, the last 2 meetings, including tonight, we've had people from the public come and complain about how bad and unsafe it is out there. Could we declare an emergency situation and just handle it? Like, we declared an emergency for a water pump, so why couldn't we just declare an
It's
emergency?
been an ongoing situation, it's been
But it's-
brought up more than once, and
Okay,
it's
so here-
documented that it's.
So the fence in total is 52, right?
Yeah, with
So
all that stuff.
can we buy 3, how many, what is it?
We'd have to buy 8.
Eight.
Okay, no, but the CAO can do 25.
No, he still
No,
he still has
no.
to
But it's
tender.
still has
below
to
the-
tender though. if
Oh, okay.
25,000 still has to go to tender. Anything under 7,500 doesn't.
Because
but
if
you
we
still
bought the
need 3
materials
Yeah.
and then got, I don't know, yeah, like, can we ask to have 8, to send us 8 bills? I don't know, I'm just.
So what can you do with big forgiveness after?
Anything.
Exactly.
That's wide open, Bill. I do it quite often.
Doesn't work like that.
Well, sometimes
Well,
it
it's
has
amazing what
to.
does work like that.
So I just, let's throw Julie into the deep end off the hop. You've got some experience in this position.
We wanna get-
What does the law say we have to do?
Yeah, you'd have to retender.
You have to retender.
I think you would maybe get taken to task if you
Yeah.
tried to do it another way. Might come back to bite you.
So would we get fined, or what would be the penalty if we did something outside of the rules?
Yeah, that's a good question. What is the
could.
repercussions?
If someone calls me on it, basically.
Yeah.
Well, what I don't get is what are we retendering? So we have to continue to retender, and then hope to God that somebody says, wow, now that's a good tender. Thank God they put it that way. At what point in time do you?
You have to increase your budget.
Or, that's what I was just
Or
gonna say.
pass a
or we
resolution.
have to-
But how do you know
Budget
that's,
higher.
but I don't even think that's the issue. How is that even like, what's the,
It's just high.
Because your budget amount is 41,000, your only tender was for 52.
but what I'm seeing is that what
Have to
happened, we are just taking the guess but maybe there's somebody local that was interested, that's just.
But they didn't bid on the tender.
But they didn't bid.
And we don't even have installation added into this yet, like we
Yeah.
budgeted 41,000
Across, for all of it.
for everything,
everything.
for supply and install, and supply is coming in at 52, so we don't even have the install in it yet, so we're gonna be,
That won't be cheap.
what, like 80?
Yeah.
It won't be 52, but it won't be cheap.
Yeah.
This will be a $75,000 fence in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's lots of lines and
I
stuff under
think
those
we
walking
need
paths,
to
hydro lines,
think all of
MTS lines,
this.
there's tons of lines, it's gonna be a huge dig.
Somebody mentioned different material, like, there's gotta be different types of fences, right? This is just one
This is just,
type.
it was spec'd as a metal fence, so that's.
Yeah, there's gotta be all
Why
sorts
was
of
it
different
spec'd?
metal fences out there.
That's what that's what the committee had come to an
It was
agreement on,
it
was
was
that
an
type of
attractive
fence.
looking fence. Right.
And something that wouldn't be easily damaged by,
Yeah, it's gonna last, like, we got the, can't kick a board out and all that kind of
right.
stuff.
They didn't tell me.
Okay, so our options are to accept it or reject it. And if we reject it, we have to retender if we want to proceed.
But the new tender has to be different enough from the previous 2 tenders, right? So it doesn't look like we're price shopping, right?
But I think if it's over, then
They're
you
over.
can just
That's
your
decline it.
justification
You
that it's
just-
over.
No,
I guess
you're
so,
over.
yeah.
You can just decline.
Yeah, we can just decline it and retender, yeah, I guess.
I think.
Because it's right in our budget that we only budgeted 41,000, so that's our justification for not accepting this tender.
And I guess now that we got freeze up and snow on the ground, we have time to retender it.
Yeah,
But it's not
there's
gonna
no way
happen
that this
until
is gonna
spring.
get done this year, because if you tendered it tomorrow, it's still gonna take at
Well,
least.
60 days anyway.
You know, what about if we
60
were to
days.
accept that tender?
Hmm?
What about if we were to accept that tender? The ground's not frozen yet.
No, I know, you could build this fence for the next,
Couple weeks.
3 weeks,
I feel at
month.
this time of the year, nobody's even gonna bid on it.
No, nobody's gonna touch this, nobody would touch this with a 10-foot pole. Why would you want to? And if they did, it'll be a $100,000 fence.
Well, they'll supply you the material.
Yeah, they'll supply it, so yeah, they'll supply it, no
And it'll
problem.
sit there.
It'll be in our yard. But, yeah,
So that's
I don't know,
why-
I think it just needs to be revisited at budget time. Like, honestly, I just can't see how this would get done by the end of fiscal.
I don't know, I'm in agreement with her, but I think we pull the public safety card, and I think it's a legitimate one, and we do at least one of the fences. And we find out what the legalities of that are and go do it. Like, I'm I'm tired of people coming in here continuously, and we have, every single time there's another roadblock, and there's another one. It gets beyond frustrating, so and again, do I think the fences are gonna be it? No, but I mean, at least if we put one of the fences up now, and maybe we have a positive come out in the winter time, I know it's probably less traffic, but maybe there's a positive there, and then as soon as spring hits, again it's there, and maybe they get destroyed, maybe there's more things there, well, hey, we don't put them on the other two, or other three, however many we're looking at. So I think we pull the public safety, and it's not like it's a making it up, it's true. I mean, how many times have we had citizens come in here? And I have no problem standing here and saying, you know what, we couldn't have done this process for this and this because it needed to get done. And it's, you know, and we'd be here all the time. We'll be here in the spring, and we'll be saying the same thing. There's not enough money budgeted. When the tender came back, they can do this and this, but we can't do this. What do you think we should do now?
How are you gonna pick which path it's done and justify public safety just for one path and not the other two?
Well, I think,
Just a question.
Bite the
just-
bullet, just bite the bullet.
Well, which one has had the highest number of incidents?
Yeah.
But the reports aren't called, the RCMP don't have stats, unfortunately.
You can make the case for any one of the three.
But if you're gonna use the public safety thing, that's what I'm saying, which one, if you're gonna say it's a public safety to put up the fences, but you're only gonna do it on one,
But we're
why
not
aren't the
gonna-
other
we're-
two?
We're not just gonna do it on one, we'll do it on all, but we can just pick one right now, and the one we pick will be the one we pick, and if someone says, well, mine should've got picked versus this one, we'll say, yeah, you know what, it will, but we only have time to do one right now. It's better than none, it's
Well, I
better than
think-
none, at least, right now, I mean, in our last few meetings, somebody's waiting for someone to do something.
Yeah.
I think putting up a fence is a little something to say, hey, we put up a fence, right?
Well, at least we tried something.
We put up a fence, yes, did something, right? Right now, we're just listening and saying, yeah, we understand, call the RCMP.
Well, the area between Cudmore and Traeger is the worst area. Because it's the most secluded.
Yeah.
If you
But
go
which-
in the
but
other
which
area,
one?
if you go in the, well, it's either, it don't really matter, they're kind of almost the same. You go in the other area, you have to run into a park, so you're wide open, so it's easier, it's harder to get away. If somebody was doing, if they were trying to get away.
Yeah.
So we put a tender out. The tenders, the price came back higher than what we put in for, right? So if you break it down into three parts, it ends up being $17,000 per three parts. So if we
installation.
purchase two parts for $34,000.
It's not what your tender is.
Yeah, we'd either have to buy it all or buy none, right?
Or we tender for one.
Or two, up
And
to
then,
two.
and that's what's taken us so long is we keep on retendering, right?
Yeah, so it'd be like 30 days to tender and then 30 days, 60 days before you get anything, so that's,
If you vary from this
Right.
tender, you have to retender, because this is your legal document that was tendered.
okay, so that ends that.
And do we have to tender out the labor part of it as well for all of it? Or can we just hire somebody to put it in?
You'd have to tender it out.
Well, it'd be over
Well, we
75
budgeted
bucks.
for that.
But we didn't budget for that,
We're
we don't
over.
budget.
This is $11,000 over what we
And the
budgeted.
Public Works is not capable of doing it. They don't have time, and it's a huge dig. And there'll be lots of locates.
We need to come up with something else.
So in the meantime, seeing as we can't do that, would it be an option to talk to XL or some welding company in town here to make gates and we close the walking paths for this winter? It's just an option, just a thing.
I don't think we could talk to Excel, we would have to do a tender
We'd have to
for
tender it
these.
Well, you'd say, well, what's the approximate cost for one? And
We're
we
kinda
said
going all
that-
over the place, starting to close them.
Yeah.
You close them and then the residents are,
reopen it.
nothing happens, and then guess what they're gonna say? See,
Yeah.
close them, nothing
Yeah,
happened.
perfect.
You need to keep them closed.
Yeah.
Right, so, and again, I'm not saying I'm
But we
opposed to
can't
closing
keep
them,
them
but
closed.
that's the, was it because it was closed, or was it because hardly anybody was using it in the wintertime?
Can't answer you.
So really, okay, so the issue right now then, folks, we either accept the tender or we deny it. That's the main thing right now.
That's the question on the table.
Accept or deny.
Well, I think we find money for other things here, and I say if it's what, $11,000 over?
17.
17, I'd say, look, we'll find 17 for it.
And then where are we
So, that's
getting the
fine.
money to do the installation?
We'll have to talk to Graham, I guess, and figure out what we're gonna do. It's not gonna be any cheaper. And this becomes down to a decision of whether you're gonna put fences up or if you're gonna close them down. So to me, if it's not like someone's gonna come in with a $20,000 cheaper fence.
Especially if your
This is
Okay,
high.
so,
things go up, not down.
okay, so on the question at hand then, guys, so Trevor, you're in favor of accepting, I think? Yep. Carrie?
I'm opposed to it.
Andrew?
This
I'm not
is
gonna
high.
get involved, because I have a host there. We're
Larry?
doing this, Larry.
I have to agree with Trevor.
So, Bill?
Never thought I'd say that.
I guess we have to go ahead, like,
So approve?
I guess so.
Chad?
No.
Opposed? So we have a majority. The majority says to approve. So resolution come forward.
So,
Gotta get it done.
Okay?
What's the delivery, just out of curiosity, what's the
we-
delivery on? If you issue a PO to these guys, what's the delivery?
But I can't say that.
Does it say?
No.
No.
Because that's a custom fence, eh, so that ain't coming next week.
yeah, I get, if,
You're not gonna
I don't know if that,
see
and I doubt they have those panels, unless they have them pre-built.
Okay,
Pre-built.
so-
Yeah, you have a
foot
good
panels.
chance they
Resolution
would.
to approve
Okay.
tender.
I
So
don't
then-
think it's a good chance. but-
Okay, guys, so at the next meeting, at the next council meeting, yeah, there'll be a resolution to approve it. There'll be a chance for another round of discussions. In the interim, Jen will provide us with estimated delivery times. And at council, we vote. Okay?
How long before we can set up a tender to put it up?
Don't need to, oh,
Uh,
once we know our
Installation.
destiny.
Yeah, well, we'll have to, that'll have to get on the next committee meeting. Okay, committee and board appointments. We do this once a year where we pick our committees. Start all over again for the coming year. Any changes? Mine's a blank sheet. I'm sorry, I don't remember who's on what. The museum board was Councillor Lane. Would you like to stay or try something else?
I guess, a bit of a loaded question, because I'll just tell you my thoughts on other ones. I'm on the CDC, the museum, and the recycling. So I find all three are quite busy, and especially the CDC. And I would kind of like to remove myself from the recycling, to be honest, and stay on the CDC and museum.
Okay.
So if we're, yeah.
That's a good way to start this.
Yeah.
Okay, Councillor Atkinson, Carrie.
I would like to stay with the library.
They've requested that she stay as well.
Uh-oh, sounds rigged.
Cedar Lake, I haven't had a meeting to date. Like I had said earlier, it will be in December. There's an application that needs to be filled out and you need to be approved by them. So I feel like I need to just stick there. And then I'm also on Chamber, and I've been a part of Chamber of Commerce for almost 14 years in the pot. I would really like to stay there as well. But when it comes to and I'm also on Kelsey School Division. So if I could stay with those three, and or are we just gaining ground now to do a switch out for Kelsey School Division? Like,
Well, let us finish, I mean, if we're gonna switch Kelsey School Division, let us finish where we're at right now, we're getting close to the end.
So I guess I'm saying all four,
Well,
I don't know then.
Cedar, Library, and Chamber. Well, maybe you can still be a Chamber member and not have to be council's rep.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Okay, so
I am a chamber member.
there you go. So maybe we'll remove you as the council rep. So we have an opening. Councilor Murphy.
So you
I
wanna
wouldn't mind
stay
being
on
involved in chamber.
Kelsey School Division?
Okay, so Andre would like to be on Chamber.
Okay.
Anyone else? I don't matter.
Doesn't
It's
matter
only
to me,
one.
but I mean,
Okay,
and then again, I mean, CDC, I think I should stay there for now. Destination marketing is not a very busy committee, as much as busy as we like it to be,
I've never been on destination marketing.
sure.
And I can also go on recycling work. I've been there before, but I'll go back.
Recycling has 2.
okay. Larry.
The only thing I'd like to change is, I think I'd like to sit with the COPP.
Sure.
Can't remember how many we got now.
So
You're
Larry,
also on
you-
scan.
You're on Kelsey School Division as well.
Yeah, I'd like to stay there.
Okay. Andre, you wanted to stay on Kelsey School Division too?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
until they finish. this.
no, just we're just about
Yeah.
done the agreement and.
I'd also like to stay with the SCAN.
And then there's the Paul Community Renewal Corporation. I believe.
What's kind of, with that POG Community Renewal Corp, what kind of synergies do they have with CDC?
None, very little.
There was talk of a board member swap between the two, but I don't know what happened.
That's what I was kinda looking like, you know, when you think about the
Oh, wait,
CDC.
What's his name?
The sands.
Roland
Lassad,
is,
Roland,
Yeah.
Roland,
Yeah.
there you go,
Roland
yeah.
is there.
Okay, no, but I was thinking with the CDC, obviously, you know, being, I think there'd be some help if maybe I was involved either with the Kelsey Planning District or Trevor or somebody was involved in that too, because it seems to be a lot of the cross discussions there that might be helpful. Not being the lead, but if there's a second person that needs to be in there or something.
Kelsey Planning District is 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on that one.
I would also like to stay.
I'll stay in that one.
So,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. We're supposed to be.
Okay, so Larry, so we've got Larry covered?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Bill?
guess so. I got.
I'll stay in recycle,
Okay.
Kelsey Planning District. What else are you missing?
Are you gonna stay on Sustainable Forest?
Sure, that's a busy one.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think you were invited to any of the meetings.
I,
They're meeting all the time.
Every other week?
I'm serious, because I went and asked. I said, what the heck's going on? And,
I'm on the email. I've got them to email me now when it's.
yeah, you just weren't getting invited. Nobody was from.
Free lunches,
gee whiz.
suppers?
Which one's
They're
that?
on there.
I said, take it personally.
I am? Must be my
So
deodorant.
the only
No,
one
you
we're
will be
missing is the
invited
Paul
from now on.
Community Renewal
I
Corporation.
I've
Larry
got
sat on it. I
discussion.
don't know if he still wanted to.
Sorry, what?
The Paul Community Renewal Corporation?
If there's not a problem with me staying on it, I'd like to stay there
Yeah.
as well.
If he wants to. Okay. Can I just?
So Bill, you got yours, Bill?
Yeah, recycle, Kelsey Planning, and what else are you missing?
I think that's it. I'm just gonna run through them, okay?
Did Chad, we've got Chad hooked up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't, we didn't talk about personnel, but I'd like to stay
Oh,
on the
right, there's the
personnel.
personnel and policy, these two.
Yeah, I would like to stay there as well.
Okay, so personnel. Chad.
So is there a
Andre.
limit to what we can sit on?
No?
Just whatever you can handle and attend the meetings, right? Because sometimes it gets busy.
Yeah.
Personnel and policy review are only 3 members of council for each committee. And the policy review committee was just established.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably should carry on, because like, it's only met once
Yeah.
or twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Bill, Carrie, and Trevor, right?
Okay, I've got 5,
You better.
just saying.
You live in.
You got 5?
I have library, I have chamber, I have Cedar Lake, I have Kelsey School Division, and policy.
Do you wanna give up
So
Cedar
I'm
Lake?
just saying.
I thought Andre was taking chamber.
No, I can't give up Cedar Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should get on this Christmas party.
No, it's,
Yeah,
no,
the
it's,
2-day
it's
Christmas
just getting,
party.
it's just getting started, and we just did, appointments. And it's an application process as well that you need to go through for Cedar Lake.
No, but I thought Andre was taking
Chamber.
chamber.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
So you've only got 4.
Okay, I only have 4.
Chelsea School Division's pretty low key.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we deal with
so
Larry.
personnel, we have Andre, Chad, and Trevor. Is it still?
Who's, is that staying?
Andre, Chad, and Trevor?
And who's the chair and who's the vice chair?
I was the chair, but
Sounds good.
Who was the second?
Trevor was.
Trevor? Okay. Good job, Chad. So then we have policy review
Why
committee,
go
Bill,
your
Carrie,
way around
Trevor.
that one?
Who's
Yeah.
the chair and who's the second, or who's the vice?
We never did.
No, we
We never
did, but
did
this
that.
is the time we need to do it.
Put Carrie as chair, please. It's about time we
Okay.
have a woman leading something.
Bill, you wanna be the second?
okay.
I
Okay,
see
there.
you and I hear you.
Okay, so can I go over this now, just to make sure we've got it all?
Okay,
Okay, personnel committee, Andre's the first, Trevor's the second, and Chad.
right.
Policy review, we'll have Carrie is the first chairperson, Bill is the second, and Trevor.
Okay.
Museum board, Trevor.
Yeah.
Chamber, Andre. Sustainable Forests, Herb. Or Mayor Jake, sorry. Citizens
Herb's
on
fine.
Okay, Citizens on Patrol, Larry. CDC is Andre and Trevor. Destination Marketing is Chad. Cedar Lake is Carrie. Recycling Board, Chad and Bill. The Paw Community Renewal Corp is Larry. Library Board is Carrie. Scan is Larry. Kelsey Planning is Herb, Chad and Bill. Kelsey School Division is Carrie, Andre and Larry.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Cool.
resolution will be coming forward.
And we need to pick the deputy mayor.
Oh, yes, you do.
So I try to go, as you know, I try to attend most meetings. I think I've missed one, Andre, I think,
Yeah.
one. I missed one council
maybe
meeting.
one.
Yeah, and it would be nice, it'd be nice if whoever takes it on this time, in June, I try to go to the grads, I try, but there's so many. If somebody else was around who could go, and it's daytime, right? It's daytime. Not a lot of evening work, it's daytime. So you guys can pick, right? Everybody should do it once if you can, but you guys pick among yourselves. Oh, and you get more money, so.
Bill?
I'm around, like, I got lots of time. But if
Just
somebody
say you
else
want
wants
the,
to
just say
do.
you want the job, Bill. Like,
Well,
what's the
okay, I'll
secret?
take the job. okay.
There we go,
There.
perfect. Good man, Bill.
Yeah, now I go,
In your free time, find something that can build a suspense.
And this will be effective January 1st or right away?
Next meeting,
Okay, so
yeah,
it'll be effective.
resolution next meeting,
Okay,
yeah.
and
That's a
then we'll
year.
move forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a year.
yeah,
Yeah, it was just the other day, it popped up on Facebook there.
Okay, August finance reports.
Attaches the August 2019 internal financial summary for council's review and approval. In speaking with the controller, there are no major concerns or issues at this time, as this is only the August report.
Nothing over budget, or,
Wellness center is over budget. Amber was here explaining.
right, yeah.
The fire department's over budget a little, and that was due to the fire truck breaking down when they were taking it down for repairs. So it was a hefty tow truck bill, but Graham, or the controller, had no issues right now. He said it's hard to say, hard to tell right now.
Okay.
So just a resolution.
Payroll and accounts.
Require resolution for pay period 21 in the amount of $100,098.42. Town of the Paw general checks 23723 to 23806 in the amount of $395,008.88. EFTs in the amount of $72,873.35. To note, there was a couple checks, one for Baker Tilly, that was the 2018 audit, about $20,000. 2018 audit has been completed, and council's reviewed it and passed resolution already. Another check for Kelsey School Division, which was the taxes for $131,720. Pear Canada, that was airport, it was it was for purchase of hoses and maintenance, $4,991.11. Precision Joint Sealing was also the airport for route and seal of asphalt. That was about $40,000. Public School Finance was education levies, $32,000. Sue's Water Technologies and Solutions, this was chemicals for the water treatment plant in the amount of $16,464. The Paul Handy Van was $10,000. This is the Mobility Disadvantaged Transportation Grant. This is just a grant that the Handy Van applies for it through the town. They issue the town the money, we reimburse, or we give the money to the Paul Handy Van. Then there was a check for Winnipeg Airport Services, which is Wasco, which is for 4 months of their services as part of their contract for running the airport for us. Lakeshore Landscaping was $16,275. This was for gravel. It was tendered T12 2019, and it was passed by resolution 2019-204. And then Whitford in the amount of $32,189, and this was for paving on the corner of Fast Gas, Hogan and Laughlin, and the corner of Fisher, RCMP in the Wiscana corner, and 7th Street by UCN.
That's only charge.
For all that.
Oh,
Any other questions?
Any questions on the register, folks? No? Then a resolution will come. Okay, additions and deletions to the taxes.
Hopefully this will be the last one, as this is the third stat we've received. Every year, the Swan River Assessment Branch provides municipalities with additions and deletions to the tax roll. Council must pass a resolution accepting these changes. The following additions and deletions for 2019 tax roll as of October 23rd, 2019 are 2019 additions in the amount of $10,284, deletions in the amount of $338. The difference for this submission is an increase of $9,946. Total difference to date is an increase to the assessment roll in the amount of $14,443. So we're going in the right way, in the right direction.
On the good side.
Revised tax bills will be sent out to those affected by the additions and deletions, and we just need a resolution.
Cool. Great. Christmas tree lighting.
Received a letter from the Paul Friendship Center and the Paul Community Renewal Corporation. They are in the planning stages to bring back the tradition of the Christmas tree lighting. They would like to have the Christmas tree lighting event take place at the museum on Saturday, November 23rd, 2019 at 5 p.m. This will coincide with the annual visit with Santa at the Friendship Center. They would like to use one of the trees on the left side of the museum, as it is already sourced with an electrical outlet for the tree. They are planning to have a small opening ceremony with local dignitaries and invite this year's Neighbor of the Year award recipient to be able to turn the tree on. They're asking for permission and support.
Sounds great.
I'm in favor of that.
Is there a Santa Claus parade this year?
I haven't heard.
Haven't heard?
Coincides with this.
Okay.
Does it?
Oh,
Not the
I'm
same
sorry?
day. It's not the same day, but it's around the same time frame, I believe. I'm just trying to remember what it actually is.
Okay, all right.
It's close to around here, I think.
Okay, fire department security.
This is an issue sheet from the fire chief. The fire department requires a form of security within the building. Connecting to the existing system is not practical, as we're responding to emergencies. The last thing on their minds is disarming the internal alarm system. The system they are proposing is a key fob or card system that controls access into the fire department. It has also recently come to our attention that keys have been cut and there is no way of knowing who has keys. With a system such as this, it would eliminate unauthorized access to their equipment. Due to being unable to complete one of the capital projects, the fire chief is requesting to use a portion of the money that may have that money to have a system installed. They had budgeted $7,500 for the garage pad, and the estimate for the new fob system is about $7,000. He's looking for council's approval to seek actual costs. However, I was speaking with the controller, and there is money in the fire reserve, but this is the same reserve that they would need to draw for fire trucks, hall expansions, etc. We are currently looking at camera system replacing for the whole building as part of the budget, and it was $20,000 was budgeted in the 2019 budget. In the meantime, we could have the locks changed out by Baker, reducing individual access. So the controller isn't in favor of the key fob system. He feels we should just have locks changed and include it in the update of the security system within a whole building.
Agreed.
Is there something behind this? Like, has there been things going on with the fire department, or is this just a proactive step?
It's just a proactive step. There's no security system.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. There is a security system, but it's just hooked up to this one. So every time they're coming in for fire calls, they're turning off the alarm and
Yeah.
stuff. So and it needs to be an easier access.
So is this a request to just price it out and not actually go and buy it, but to just price it out?
Yes, because you're going to need an actual quote. It's a rough estimate. There's approximately $7,000.
Yeah, so given that it's
We're going
virtually November 1st, could he not
to just
just,
include it in budget.
for his budget for 2020? Right? Okay, so,
And if he's going to price it out, I would recommend, most places are going with the key fob, so you know, like, I got a key today, but, you know, everyone's got a key, but who actually went in, it's kinda handy to have when you know, so I get it for, you know, to get it for the whole building, for the 3 entranceways or whatever that were used mostly, and get a price that way.
So you mean a key fob system for the whole building, not just for that side?
No, like one for the fire department, one for the back door, one for the front door if staff are using it, right? When the building is closed, right? So that you have access, you know who's in the building at what time.
We're installing one of those as we speak.
Yeah.
And all the cards are programmable to
Yeah.
open up doors and let certain people into whatever areas,
Yeah, then you know who's in the building.
and it swipes in and it time stamps who's in and who's out.
Yeah.
So you want
Yeah.
the key fob in the entire building?
yeah, might as well get.
If we're gonna do it, do
And
the whole thing.
they're tied into the camera system.
Like the key
Yeah.
reader,
Yeah.
the key reader is about $2,000. We've got 2 of them.
Yeah, we
at
can get it
school.
priced out and then have it included in the 2020 budget for the
They're
entire
not
building.
expensive.
No, so.
Then you need just software to run it.
Okay,
So if we do it for the whole building, then the fire department would not have to include it in their budget then?
Yeah.
okay, budget dates and deadlines. November 1st, we want their budgets?
Yep. Or November 15th.
November
wasn't it?
15th, we want a working plan, and December 15th.
Yeah.
Budgets will be going out to managers this week.
Okay, so can we get it back by the second meeting in November, whatever the date is?
Well, we had talked about
November
like a
15th.
work plan before they go and do a bunch of legwork on.
So you
on the
want to
budget.
meet with them before they start budget, is that what you mean?
It would be nice to see a work plan, what they're planning on budgeting, especially for capital items. So we can at least talk about,
Whether
The
we're on the
items?
same page?
yeah, well, you know what I mean? Like, if they come in, if one of the requests is to install a key fob system throughout the civic center, it'd be nice to know that before they spend the time pricing that out, and whether or not we as a council have any interest in it or not. You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to see those plans before we see
And
numbers.
talking
it
attached.
turns up a little bit.
It specifically
Capital
relates to
items.
capital,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that going to just, I mean, I don't know, are people going to actually make those decisions, or is it, that's a good idea, and then when it gets down to, we're looking at the numbers, no.
No, but it would be nice to see if there is ideas that, whether or not we have any,
I would just hope to think that if you're the manager,
yeah.
and you're
True enough.
you're coming forward with an idea, and that's some idea you're pretty passionate about, you wanna
For
do
sure.
it, and that's what you're not gonna come with 8, you're gonna come with your 1 or 2 things. And I'd rather not meet with everybody and then say, hey, we'll set another meeting to meet with you again.
Yeah.
And then we realize that. hey,
I wasn't
this-
thinking it needed to be a meeting where we'd need to meet with them, but it was just more, have a general idea,
Or
but I don't care. No, we don't
For
even,
them to just give it on paper. and
that's
then
right, it could just
review
come
it
on
or-
paper and it'd be like, okay, the Public Works Department is wanting to buy a,
But then we're gonna say,
Whatever.
and I don't wanna be Mr. Negativity here, but why do you want that? He's not here, let's calm down for, like, I don't know
yeah,
why
sure
you
enough,
want
I
that.
see where you're coming from, yeah, it's just an idea, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Can we get an update on everything we approved earlier in the year?
So we're not doing the work plan?
No, you're saying.
Okay, so, well, there's a couple things. It would be good to know what their hopes and dreams are, to make sure that they're consistent with us, right? As well, it would be good to know what did they get done this year? Because we approved a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm not sure what the status of almost
Mhm.
any of it is.
And then we'd like to see budgets for December 15th, is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
what we're,
First run of budgets, December 15th?
yep, yep.
Yep. Let's try and get them done sooner.
Tenders out in January?
No, you can't do tenders in January.
Why?
She's laughing too.
Why can't we do tenders
You
in
can't
January?
put tenders out if your budget's not approved.
Well, when is your budget approved?
Not till
May.
May 15th.
Oh, you have to wait till May?
No. No, we have until May. If we approved our budget February 1st,
But the thing is we can't approve
Right.
our budget until we get the
The
school
school
division's numbers, so it slows us down, because we don't have school division numbers.
But can you,
We can speed up May 15th, though, for sure we can.
you know, but that's so backwards, because if you have to get most of your work done in the middle of summer,
oh
Yeah.
and all the big guys have already tied up all the big contractors, then you're kinda missing it, so can you use 2018's budgeted money to,
Reference.
to tender 2020? Why? It's that's the craziest thing ever. Then you won't get anything
Welcome
done
to
again this year.
municipality, municipal world.
No,
It's the municipal world.
can't.
Well, you're not gonna get anything done again this year then.
so we approved provisional spending, right? Our provisional budget?
Yeah.
Your
So-
interim budget.
Why can't we identify a bunch of it in that interim one?
The stuff that you know you're gonna struggle with contractors, why can't you, I mean, I get not doing everything,
Yeah.
but when you know that you gotta get a paving contractor and we approved $400,000 this year, we got nothing done. Because you couldn't get a contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sending those out June 1st is useless. Unfortunately, you know what I mean, it's just so late in the year in terms of.
And they're gonna get your best pricing at the beginning of the year anyways, when it's early, before all of it, because nobody's got a full
Yeah.
workload yet.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Yeah,
You just have to remember that when you do start doing your budgeting, that you've already allocated for that
Yeah.
amount, so there's no going back.
Yeah.
But,
If you
yeah,
come in so high and you say, okay, brush up, take stuff off the budget, those things can't if you've started tendering.
What do you mean?
But you don't have to, I mean,
You can
a day
still-
will last a while, we can put 100 things out to tender, we don't have to accept it, right? So,
You gotta be very careful not accepting tenders.
Why?
You can't just not accept a tender. You have to have
Well, if we don't
Yeah,
have.
we
really
don't want
good
to
rationale
do-
not to accept it.
was a budget, right?
Pardon?
In the budget. So if we, yeah, okay. There, some of this discussion is almost in camera.
Yeah.
But I think there should be a way for us to skin this fish. There's gotta be a
Well,
way.
if there's not, then what's the point of doing
Yeah.
a budget in December?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why most
Yeah,
municipalities
keep on-
don't do it in December,
Stay cool till April.
right?
Okay, so let's carry on. So December 15th, we would like the first round of hopes and dreams,
Yeah.
okay?
November.
November 15th.
November
pardon me.
15th.
And December
November-
15th.
okay.
December 15th, we'll go through.
November
Yeah,
15th,
Yeah.
hopes and dreams.
Yeah,
So November 15th, we want all of managers or just on paper?
Just on paper, we don't need to see
Just
them.
on paper?
yeah. Because they've probably got a pretty good idea already of what they'd like to see next year. I know I do, right?
But you said that, okay, but when Was it for November 15th as well, that we wanted to know where we're at for?
Project
What got done
updates.
this year.
Budgeted last year as
Yeah.
well.
All the
So-
project updates
so
that we
it's
budgeted.
dual
Yeah,
Yeah.
that we're asking.
because we need to know where we're at.
Right.
And
So
then-
can you carry over, so you have $400,000 in road repairs for 2019, you didn't get done. Can you carry that over into 2020 and budgeted additional money in 2020?
You'd have to just re-budget the 800
So
if
then,
you want.
okay, so you're rebudgeting everything?
Yeah, everything's gotta be re-budgeted, nothing
No, I
carried.
realize that, but I mean,
Yeah.
so now if you really, you could actually go out and tender, if it's a carryover, no, even if you didn't budget anything else for 2020, you could tender your 2019 repairs because it's from 2019, your 2019.
But it depends on where the money's coming from though, right? Am I wrong?
Well, we budgeted and allocated the 400,
Yeah,
right? And so just because we didn't spend it doesn't mean we've lost it.
yeah.
It's
Right.
still there.
Well, that's what I'm
And it's gotta
saying.
be used for
Tender
what it was
hasn't been
specified.
accepted
It had-
either,
right.
or neither.
The technical side
Yeah.
of things, if we allocated 400 for roads, the 400's for roads.
What Andre's saying is that in December, could we tender that?
Well, I think,
400?
well, what I think
For
we,
2020.
well, I
For
think what we've
2020.
instructed Sam and the crew to do is to retender the 1,200,000 or the
Right,
1,600,000
right, yeah.
Yeah, next year.
for 2020. Yeah, so we're gonna do it all at once instead of
Yeah. Oh,
each year, on the paving side of things, oops, sorry.
it's hard to do things when you're handcuffed all the time.
Oh, this is such a smooth process, this thing, so.
Okay,
And then finished budgets by December 15th, did we say?
yeah, if,
First run of budgets.
First
December
Or first,
15th.
yes,
We're not
like
gonna
a
finish them.
finished, but you know what I mean, like a
because,
Yeah.
Your first look.
first one.
because a lot of it now will depend on Graham getting his job done. So
Yeah.
they know the actuals, right? Okay, so we've got a couple things for in camera, but, new business next meeting.
Could we talk about derelict buildings? I'll send in an issue sheet.
Sure.
We've
Yeah.
talked about it a few times now, and I'd like to revisit that whole idea of just getting a contractor to tear down the buildings after whatever notice period we need to, and
Yep, we'll put it on the agenda and we'll find out what we can do.
And I'll be putting in an issue sheet on the commissioners, bylaw officers.
Yes. Yes, good idea. Anything else just right now? You have until, of course, Wednesday before the meeting, so.
Wednesday.
The meetings with the ministers,
We haven't heard back for the
You haven't
dates
heard
yet.
back from anyone?
You probably won't hear back
Until
until
just
Sunday.
before. Yeah,
Okay.
and we don't
Or
even have our,
Monday.
we haven't even been told the time to meet with the RCMP yet either, but I've submitted the briefs.
Okay, that's it.
Sorry, who was all
Well,
going again for AMM? Just
Well,
her, Bill, Larry, Andre?
no.
No?
What, sorry?
AMM,
And
you two for sure. Okay.
has there been any updates of any rooms other than,
No, I don't know if you saw the one I sent you. AMM is asking all municipalities that are not going or have hotel rooms booked that aren't using to please release them because there are many municipalities still looking for rooms.
How come it's so busy?
It's in
well, it's in
Brandon.
Brandon.
Well, no, I realize it's in Brandon, but yeah.
I don't know why they host these in Brandon. It's not a big, 20 years ago, it wasn't big enough for an AMM convention.
No.
they just don't have to spread it around, that's all.
Was it o'clock?
They're just as well equipped.
Yeah, same amount.
Okay, so we've got a couple things for in camera.
So resolved that we now move ourselves to the in-camera portion of committee of the whole with Mayor Jakes in the chair to discuss matters requiring our attention.
There'll be no business coming out of it. You guys back there.
Johnny on the spot.
From the president.